But for our next panel, I'm sure that you already know that Solana has been a really hot topic in Web3 lately, and this is exactly what we are going to touch on our next panel. And it will be moderated by none other than Daniel Tamas, who in 2017 launched WAM, a crypto gaming app with more than 3 million users. And he will be joined by 0x1Dead, builder of the Romanian Solana community, and Philipp, who's been creating an original idea and a conventional idea that may surprise you, the first sexual wellness store in the metaverse. So let's give them a really big round of applause.
Is this working? So, great to be here. I just arrived, so I have the face of the long road to get here. We have 5 minutes, right? This is the panel. I'll get straight to it. Solana has had an amazing first quarter in 2024, and the reason for that is meme tokens. Why do you think that is? Maybe this one?
Yo.
Yeah.
I think the Solana people love things with head. Usually I also wear one because when you don't have that much hair on your head left, it tends to get cold pretty fast. But the whole with head meme coin bubble is just nuts. So yeah.
I think we shouldn't play sides here. Honestly, Solana first liked to bonk, like that was a big thing. But yeah, now it's more like bonk with hat. That's a good bag.
But I would say bonk actually gained lots of traction in the end of 2023, especially after Breakpoint Amsterdam. They had an insane activity with the bonk boxing game. That was pretty fun. So yeah.
And what people don't realize, or like many people who just dabble into meme coins, Bonk is not a meme coin anymore. I think it hasn't been a meme coin for the last 2 months or so. When they launched Bonk Rewards, which is a staking thing, which actually gives you the rewards of all Bonk connected project, especially BonkBot, which has like an insane volume. And it actually has developed an ecosystem filled with utility, and yeah, it's an industry. Bonk is an industry.
What do you think Solana has that it attracts this type of projects? Because from everything that goes on in the market, people like to view Solana as the Degen place, right? So most likely they're not in for the tech, but there's one thing that I did notice is that if it weren't for the tech, you couldn't have done a lot of things that enabled this. So what is your take on it?
Right, so I think last year they had a campaign called Opos, which is only possible on Solana, in which they highlighted the tech aspects of building on Solana. And let's face it, it's well integrated into many projects and many things. And it's really fast when transactions land. That's still a thing. But I think when the new clients, especially Fire Dancer, is going to come out, and I don't need 1 million transactions per second, but 100,000 would do. When that comes out, I think all problems will be solved. And for the sake of argument, let's say there would be another blockchain as fast as this. It isn't as known as this. So I think it also has a reputation in the last 2 or 3 years of being a kind of well put together chain with dedicated engineers and a very robust system of validators. So that's I think one of the advantages of Solana.
Also the introduction of the Solana Saga phone, the D-App store, it is very convenient for especially mobile-first countries, to build upon that. So maybe just to add to that, that's also a huge factor.
We've recently jumped to Solana as well with WAM, so we're looking to tap into that exactly for the reasons that you mentioned.
And one more thing. So one thing that sets Solana apart, and which this thing so I'm really passionate about this special side of Solana. I'm also in it for the tech. That's the joke when you when you're down low. But one of the most interesting things on that they have achieved through like their own sheer power of will, they have built an kind of an ecosystem of hackers and guys who build stuff with scotch tape and kind of stuff that barely lasts, but kind of explore the unbeaten path. So they put together a system of hackathons around the world. I've been part of some of these hackathons, and there's also hacker houses. So hackathons are different than hacker houses. Hackathons are global events, worldwide events, and hacker houses are localized events in which people kind of meet, greet each other, they network, they get ideas to build stuff, and this kind of formed a grassroots community, community of builders and engineers. I might be overstating it, calling them engineers, because they're not really engineers. They are guys who basically want to experiment with stuff, they want to build stuff, and that's what pushes Solana along. I think that's one of the biggest advantages of Solana.
Cool. You're building on Solana, right?
Yes, I'm definitely part of building on Solana.
Are the reasons why you're building on Solana the same that we just mentioned today, or you have your own reasons why you're building on Solana?
Especially in Berlin, the tech scene is strong, but also the artist scene is very strong. And if we look at projects like Drip House, for example, it's tough for any classic artist to enter the Web3 space without an already existing community. But through tools like Drip House, all of a sudden, speaking from the Berlin ecosystem, there are already people who did it and who run their projects successfully and with distribution through Drip House. And once they start to figure out how this ecosystem works, they don't go anywhere else. So that's the beauty of it.
Just from the guys in the audience, who has done anything on Solana so far? Okay, cool. So you have a Solana audience right now. What about NFTs? Solana was big, and everybody's looking in the market right now when it comes back again. So the market cycle right now is, okay, we have meme tokens, and the feeling that I have when looking at social media and what other communities are doing is they're preparing for the next NFT. What is your take on this? How? Just give us some insights about.
So my view on NFTs, especially on Solana NFTs, is a little bit more nuanced than when I first got into space and NFTs were just being born on Solana. So I think the next, I think there's going to be a clear separation between the term NFT and digital collectibles, because digital collectible is one usage of the word NFT, and 98% of people, or say it's a made-up stat, I'm making this up, 98% of people, when they talk about NFTs, they refer to digital collectibles. So like it's an image or a multimedia file that you store as a pointer on the blockchain. And basically that's really a small percentage of the use cases of how you can use an NFT on Solana, because you can, because of composability and like the vast amount of smart contracts there are already in place, you can do so much with NFTs. You can have, I don't know, evolving NFTs. You can have NFTs that you use for one-time use, or you can have. There's 1,000 uses for NFTs, and I think we are probably going to enter an era of when you pronounce the word NFT, you have to be more specific. You say this is a digital collectible, so you assume that it's just for collecting purposes. This is a key pass. This is a, so I think the NFTs, as we know them, will rebrand to digital collectibles, and a new kind of NFT will arise, which would be actually a token you use for something.
Would it be safe to say that the NFT will be slowly fading into the technology realm, like this is the technology that powers your digital collectible?
Ideally, people in 5 years shouldn't even mention NFTs. I think in 5 years we will come to a technology which we can use, and it is going to be so, the term NFT and like the blockchain is going to be so obfuscated that it's going to be part of our daily lives for different activities which kind of use the advantages of the blockchain, like security, it's fast, encryption and stuff like that. So this is, I think, one of the periods in the history of in our history where we actually talk too much about the tech, because it's evolving and it's being built as we are going along with it. But soon, like, think about it now. Many people, when I was a kid, many people were talking about the architecture of spectrum computers, and nobody talks about the architecture of computers right now, right? It's kind of an obfuscated layer which nobody cares about anymore. So we just use computers, and even we don't even call computers computers. We call them smartphones, or we call them like their function, by their function. So I think in 5 years nobody will talk about NFTs. NFTs are dead.
Philipp, what are you building? Just tell us, what are you building, and how is Solana solving the problems that you have versus other chains?
I guess the biggest advantage over, for example, ETH is the difference in gas. It makes it very easy for people to get started, and I feel like for the normies that's the biggest hurdle to overcome, to find an entry point and prepare themselves to get started for whatever they can imagine in the end and build out of their product. I mainly focus on building with communities and interacting, or make those communities interact with each other. So bringing together artists with people who are musicians and creating merge out of those two components that in the end can maybe be collected on Drip House. Like with Ore, a project that also took part in a couple of the already mentioned hackathons. I myself, I'm a Scrum Master, so I basically try to coordinate all of the capacities of our developers with the expectations of maybe stakeholders, but also their own vision. And that's something, as you also already said, during hacker houses, is the ideal environment to get people to a point where they can experiment and experience what Solana brings as value for them.
But let me throw the ball. There are other chains that have the same value proposition in one way or the other, let's say in terms of fees, right? Why not other chains? Why Solana?
I think this is the main selling point, the builder culture. I think they've developed this moat, which is the builder culture. If any of you haven't been to a hacker house, I strongly suggest you go. There's been recently one in Dubai.
Yeah, I've been there.
And there's going to be, I think, one in London pretty soon. in July, I think, actually not soon. But go there, meet people, see how they think, see what they are building, see what they are working on. 90% of the stuff they're working on will never work. They will never launch it. But they actually, so they aren't even phased about the concept of a project not working. They build and build and build and build, and hope someday they will make it big. I think that's pretty much in line with like kind of the American story ethos. And I think Solana has adopted this culture ever since it first started. I remember back in 2021, I was part of the first hacker house by mistake because I met someone there and he told me, so listen, the Breakpoint conference isn't where you should be. You should hang out at the hacker house. So I went there to the hacker house, and it was pretty amazing. It was like people coding on their laptops, people making jokes, programming jokes, not funny jokes. Don't imagine funny jokes. But it was kind of a relaxed atmosphere. Meanwhile, at the Breakpoint kind of main stage, there were all these investors that were talking constantly about price action, about how the possibility could incur a higher value to a certain coin, and this was not the subject. So this was even a subject at the hacker house, where people were just talking about the technology and what they could build. They dreamed up crazy shit, and most of it didn't work, but some of it did. And at the first hacker house, I met Bartosz and Jordan, which are now they've developed the Metaplex standard. So every NFT that people own on Solana is made according to that Metaplex standard, where the majority of them, let's say. And I met these guys, and these were like pretty awesome people. They were interested in the evolution of the technology and did not care if the project wouldn't kind of, I don't know, scale or produce revenue or anything. So I think that this hacker culture grew up alongside Solana, and I think it also saved it from one of its low points. I see here in the audience a gentleman resembling the guy who, that's the guy.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, in Berlin each year we host 2 build stations, where for 3 consecutive weeks people come together. In preparation for that, we even started to have like an ideation day, where people from different backgrounds can come together and, in the best case scenario, team up for a hackathon, like the Renaissance Hackathon. But in the worst case, just spend quality time with each other and exchanging ideas. And if I compare that with the Ethereum ecosystem we have in Berlin, it's way more casual, and you feel actually welcome to just speak out your opinion and your idea, and people are very open to give you feedback, but also to give you some shit in case you're talking shit.
Yeah, speaking of Ethereum, I remember the many layers of Ethereum, and one of the most important things that people don't kind of take into account is that before layer 1, like the blockchain itself, there's the layer 0, there's the people. And it's pretty important to kind of unite and coalesce people into one homogeneous mass of brain that produces ideas to explore all the paths. So like when there's a path that leads nowhere, it has already been explored and we're good to go on another path. So I think this layer 0 of around Solana is kind of the main driver of its success.
Would you say that the hacker mentality of Solana community is also the reason why Solana is called the Degen chain?
So that's another part of Solana. Solana, the technology that smart people built allows other people to gamble and Degen and have fun. And that's a pretty good thing because it allows the blockchain to be stress tested, and it allows, actually there's a pretty recent example with OR. I don't know how many of you know about OR. Yeah, it's a small program that people have written that kind of consumes way many resources on the blockchain in order for people to produce a coin. So that's what they did. They started using the blockchain as much as possible in order to produce a coin which has a certain value, and they are mining this ore and they are clogging up the network. But I think it's an excellent thing for Solana because it shows one of the both strengths and weaknesses of Solana, which is it's resilient. It kind of so it's hard to land transactions at some point, but if you pay a fee, which a big enough fee, then you can land the transaction and you can do stuff. But it also highlights one of the things that is going to change the blockchain irreversibly, which is the launch of the new Firestarter, the new Firedancer client, which is supposed to be able to handle 1 million transactions per second. But as I said, I think 100,000 will do for the next foreseeable future.
Who has Degen on Solana? And profitably? Okay. A lot of people, when they think of Degen, and myself included, think about the X's and the profits that you make in a certain way. I suck at that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm the type of buy high, sell low. This is my skill. Follow me for this type of advice if you want. We've talked about the community, the technology, the Degen side. Now I'm interested in a topic that I'm in. And this is the reason why we jumped to Solana. We said, okay, this is the community that we find ourselves actually more at home, but we didn't pick right at the beginning. Gaming. Gaming on Solana, from everything that you read, is like a match pretty much on every aspect. What are your takes on this? How can, I know how, I have the whole framework, the whole universe in my mind, but from your point of view and your perspective, how can games grow Solana even more, and how can games benefit from being on Solana?
I think the best things games on Solana can do is to hide Solana. I think like if they obfuscate the layer of security and fastness of transactions and everything that Solana provides and just say, I'm a good game, and people make good games, I think it's going to be a win. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's on Solana or not on Solana. If the game works and the resources are custodial, secure, encrypted, whatever, then everybody's happy. There's been a recent thing at I think it was a baseball match or a football match in the US where the commentator mentioned Bitcoin and everybody booed, like 95% of the stadium booed. And everybody's surprised about that. No, it's real. Like, people hate crypto. If people would stop using crypto to scam people, maybe people would love crypto, but they will not. So I think the key here in Solana gaming is to actually call it, I don't know, gaming, and offer a good game, offer a good experience. And whoever wants to dig into the game and trade resources or items or NFTs on the marketplace and have the security that custodial ownership brings, can do that as well. I think it's for now it's two different kinds of people. There's mainstream people who don't care about the blockchain, and there's the crypto people who are into the technology and are attracted by what the technology brings. But if they don't care about the technology, I say we shouldn't confront them and show them the technology up front.
Yeah, I would agree. The moment you detach it from the currency you're using in the context, doesn't matter which one you use, as long as the game is good and entertaining and competitive, in best case scenario, people will jump on the train. I think that's also one of the reasons why esports organizations are investigating whether it makes sense to interact with the Solana community or not. Best example is G2. So far they did not really enter the market, but they are present at hacker houses, for example, to get a feeling on what the community from builders, developers, but also the users provide for them.
By the way, we have 15 more minutes. The last 5 minutes I would like to reserve for questions from the audience. Please think of questions. The stupider, the better. So we'll have 5 minutes at the end. I mentioned games because games with blockchain change a bit the way people behave. This is what we've seen in the past 2-3 years. And blockchain with finance changes the way, again, technology is being used, because now you have an economical incentive to be there or not, to participate or not. And my question is, why is the Solana community so open to testing out new shit, like you said, compared to other chains? And this is proven with the liquidity that exists on Solana. This is mind-baffling. And for us, for instance, in gaming, this is exactly what we need. But I'm very curious, what's your take? What is the secret sauce here? Why do people prefer Solana in this matter?
So I think many of the people who use protocols on Solana have been using protocols in one form or another on Solana for a while, and there's a so I think that the last 6 months of Solana really raised the bar for airdrop farming. I think the airdrop farmer is now an entity and a job. Yeah, I know plenty of airdrop farmers which kind of do this for a living. But that's like simulated economic interactions. They're also simulated and stimulated, and artificially stimulated, of course. So I don't think that is a kind of a long-term plan for anyone, not the protocol, not the airdrop farmer. But it's a interesting way of acquiring beta testers, because that's the problem here. You build a protocol, you hope it's reliable, you hope it scales, but you also need the resources to ensure that this is actually reality. And so far, I think people on Solana are super open to test new shit because they are basically in it for the money. So protocols on Solana and any smart contract maker, basically by doing airdrops, they are paying people to test out their stuff. Then comes the layer 2 speculation of this whole thing, where people say, oh no, this protocol should have more value than my peer suggests, and I will invest more. So another one comes and says, oh no, it has less value, and I will sell more. But this is all speculation. I think we live in a turbulent bubble right now, which will end at some point, and when it ends, we should be pretty sure we have decent, usable protocols. And I think this is the main incentive. Protocols and smart contract makers now pay people to test the stuff they make, so that later on, when it starts making money and we have actual adoption, it's reliable. That's my theory. I don't think there's a sure answer to the question, but that's my theory.
That would have been my answer as well. I mean, in the end, we already talked about being a Degen on Solana and paying people to stress test your protocol as giving them airdrops. And that is the perfect example for all of those degenerate gamblers who just want to either make a quick buck, or on the other hand, of the developer side, need people to interact with the protocol as much as possible in a short time frame.
I see. Just a quick note, I was in Dubai when the apocalyptic flood happened, and I was trapped inside, and the with hat shit came to our radars because we just jumped to Solana, and we decided to make in one day a new token called Boat with Hat, because we were literally with swimming there, and we saw, sorry? And we got rugged too as well. It was a nice interaction to see how fast the word spread inside the short time frame with Solana people. It was real time for us to see what degenning meant, given that we had no experience with it. So this was a fun little experiment.
Also, I'd like to highlight here a moment between you two. So people who have been long enough on Solana, they expect to be rugged. Like that's the honest, the 100% expectation. If you are not rugged, that is kind of surprising. That is like, I don't know, 0.001%. So call that maybe low expectations, but that would be kind of in line with the expectations of a beta tester. A beta tester expects stuff to be buggy and stuff to rug, as we say, and stuff not to work. This is what everybody on Solana is right now. They're all beta testers. Should I remind you, Solana is still in beta, so we are all beta testers.
Have you guys seen Live Mom? The token, the meme token? Come on.
Oh, with the
yes.
online stream with the mom, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the highlight of how degen can be like really degen. Look, it captures attention, and at this point in time for new technologies like blockchain, especially for competing chains, the main currency is not the token. The main currency is attention, right? So in order to get attention, you need to do crazy stuff. This is really crazy. It's like almost as crazy as asking a politician to tell the truth. I know. That's the full degen style. But still, it was, I would say, nothing short of impressive to see shit like this happening in real time with people just being baffled about what is going on. Okay. How big is the Solana community in Eastern Europe, and what are the plans for Eastern Europe? We have a very strong developer community. We've been branding ourselves as the, let's say, tech house of Eastern Europe. I'm from Cluj, so I'm a bit smug about that because we branded ourselves like the Silicon Valley of Europe. Yeah, we know, we're rugging stuff as well like that. But I'm very curious, what are the plans and what are the exciting times? Because my feeling is that exciting times are ahead, and especially on the blockchain side, where Romania can actually be a leader if the right decisions are made. But this is still one part hope, one part desire.
In short, there are big plans with Romania and Eastern Europe, at least regarding Solana. I'm going to do a quick intro here. So I've been part of the community since 2021 when I first met the guys, and also the guys from the foundation, Aleftina. And back in 2021, I was talking to her about organizing kind of a hacker house event in Romania because I know the potential of the tech scene here. And we kind of delayed it because of the lack of sponsors and lack of interest, because there's a huge community of builders in Romania, and builders in Romania, like the guys, builders from Romania, like the guys from Exchange Art and Camino and lots of projects on Solana have Romanian founders, but they actually don't highlight this, so because they're usually not building in Romania. They're either based in London or based in other places. So geography doesn't play a big role. So this is why Romania hasn't been highlighted as a kind of a builder hub. But now, recently, they told me, so I've been constantly talking to the foundation to organize events here. And now we've been having, so people here should join the Romanian Solana community Discord, which is, if you go on Twitter, it's Solana_raw, and there's the Discord link over there. And you can join that Discord, and every Thursday at the beginning of the month, we host a special event called the Solana Ecosystem Call, in which we talk about recently launched project on Solana, have pizzas, have beer, network. This is actually how I got here, because part of the last event, I've met the guys from NFT Bucharest, and they asked me to speak at this event, so this is how I ended up here. And we have these events, recurring events, every Thursday of the first month, every Thursday at the beginning of the month. And these are part of the Solana Superteam program, which is a foundation which there's actually a Superteam Berlin in Berlin. I think
we have the Superteam Germany. We are 140-ish people, and actually tonight, when we are dining out, we have the town hall call, which is also something that we have for the Superteam Germany. Every 2 weeks, we just come together, have a nice hour of talking about new projects, but also the variety of meme coins popping out everywhere. And that's also attesting to the mindset that the people have to build something and to nurture each other as well.
So, long story short, the plan is to build a strong community in Romania of builders, founders, designers, artists, hackers, investors. Gather everybody on Discord and start building the Romanian super team, which will allow us to kind of coalesce everything into a more organized structures, have events, have hacker houses, kind of develop the Romanian ecosystem here, because as I've told you, the layer 0, the people layer, is very important for the growth of Solana. It has been ever since the beginning.
Cool. We're now in the phase where you guys have thought of a very stupid question, hopefully stupid. There you go. Can I get the mic, the microphone, the speaking device, the loud speaking device?
Thank you. So I played with some meme coins on Solana. I have like a 5x just for fun. But looking at this phenomenon, it made me think about what's going to be next. I mean, some time ago there was only Dogecoin, then it came Shiba Inu, and now we have a quadrillion meme coins. And I'm thinking about splitting attention in so many places that basically, if you're a fan of this whole meme idea, you're worried that it will dilute too much. You know what I mean? So this is one question. How do you think this meme frenzy on Solana will look next year, with this very, very high volume of new meme coins every week? And second question, out of curiosity, who and how makes a meme coin on Solana?
Who and how?
Who and how?
I can answer that. I'll leave the first question to you guys.
You want to answer it?
How it's going to look like in a year? I don't know. Honest question, honest answer. To a certain extent, I hope it's still there, because as lots of people have fun with the meme coin mania. On the other hand, I hope that this ends because the Solana ecosystem is mature enough to not rely on things like the meme coin mania. So that would be my answer.
I think what we've learned from the behavior of human beings is that any market will tend to become saturated and after that there will be no further production. So there will be a stop to the meme coin production, different meme coins. But I don't think there will be a stop to the good jokes, because memes are all about good jokes and culture. And as long as people produce culture, there will be a new meme every week or every month that will kind of highlight a certain, or I don't know, maybe satirize a certain aspect of society. It's culture. It's like asking when will books stop being written. They're always gonna be written. Of course, people now try to write more books because there's more attention, but at some point there's gonna be saturation, and at that point only the good memes will survive.
I've heard a statistic, again, it's stats, I don't know if it's right or not, but it's like 20,000 meme tokens a day are being created at this point. So, of course, the good jokes get the highlight, but a lot of people will experiment with a lot of ideas like we did with Hat. It was a complete, just for fun stuff when you saw cars floating around and we couldn't do anything. So that was fun. Regarding how you make a token, I have 30 seconds. Be really, really focused because I'll try to make it short. You go to Orion Tools, you create your token. It's very simple. It's like 10 minutes. You need a bit of soul. Then you revoke the mint authority and the there's something else authority, I don't know. There are two boxes there. And then you create a pool on Radium or wherever you want to create a pool. Bots will pick you up. You need a Twitter page, you need the Telegram chat prepared, and then listed on Dex Screener, just validate it, and there you go. You have a meme token in 2 hours. So that is the complete rundown. Thank you guys, it's been a pleasure. Our time is up, and glad that you've been here at the biggest NFT conference in Eastern Europe. Talked about Solana. If you mildly liked what you have heard today, please follow these gentlemen on their social media. Join the Solana community, the Romanian Solana community. And if you're fond of a next topic, I will have my face on stage tomorrow as well, where we talk about Bitcoin. Thank you.
Thank you.